You know, I think they might have done my hair too bright.
Don't worry, I'm sure it can't be that.
Blonde! My eyes!
Alright!
Blonde.
Greetings, warriors! My name's Pretty, and welcome to yet another Resplendent review. Before we get into actually the review and stuff, I have a quick announcement. I am hosting a giveaway! Yay! As of time of recording, I'm still working out details and stuff, but you can win this. Put it on screen editing me. Yeah, do it. There will be a link down below, and hopefully in the card if I remember, to enter, and it'll last about a month from time of me posting. So get on that, and I appreciate each and every single one of you. With the announcement away, let's talk about our latest Resplendent. And that is...
Many know me as the best sniper in Arcanea, a title wholly invented by the shameless glory seekers in my family.
Yeah, it's Jeorge. Okay. So, first off, let's just talk about Embla. Embla is the most inconsistent realm for Resplendence. They could be so good, but they don't do it. It frustrates me. But I'm not here to rant about Embla's stuff that they got going on. I'm here to talk about Jeorge and seeing if his outfit fits into, Embla. He's got most of the color palette down. He does have black, he does have the gold. I kind of wish his red was a little bit more dark instead of a vivid red, but hey, that's just being nitpicky. He does have red, which was a vampy color, so good. He does have the black feathers as a weird cape thing. I'm not the biggest fan of it personally. I would have loved to see him kind of have a feather boa instead of a scarf. I think that would have been a very interesting choice, but so he does have the geometric shapes that are typical of Embla on his chest plate, on his shaw, and that's good. He I guess in a sense he does have a wide silhouette thanks to his shaw on the bottom and the feathers on the side. So there's a good point there. Thanks, Jeorge. He doesn't really have long sleeves, but his original design didn't have long sleeves. So, c'est la vie. He's got tall boots. Great. He has a head accessory. He has a scarf on his head. Yay! Overall, technically he does fit the Embla Resplendent. I'm just upset because there's not really a style guide for Embla anymore. Because of course fantasy armor and fantasy clothing designs don't have to fit in a specific type. It doesn't need to be strictly European fashion. It doesn't need to be strictly African fashion or Asian fashion. They don't need to separate themselves into that. Fantasy has the liberty of mixing and mingling them, and Embla, there's just no consistency. Sometimes we have more of a rustic style, which is what I would lean towards Jeorge, because he looks more of a wanderer instead of say Veronica, who looks like a gothic era type of royalty. And I know that's just because there's a difference between stations, but it's just, there's gotta be a little consistency, please. That's all I'm begging you, Embla. I'm begging you. I'm probably not making any sense right now, and people are probably being Pretty, you're being way too nitpicky, but I don't care. I'm sticking my guns here. I want Embla designs to be so much better. So anyways, rant aside, he does fit. I think I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. He has all of the qualities that are of an Embla design. I just there's a couple of things that could be tweaked to make him fantastic. Alright, now we get into seeing if Jeorge fits thematically, shall we? So, the theming for Embla Resplendents tend to be cruel circumstances, rough childhoods, you know, the darker side of being a hero. Will Jeorge fit? I have no idea. I haven't played his game, so we're gonna just read off his bio on the Fire Emblem wiki page. So, you know, spoilers. Yeah? Let's go, shall we? Jeorge is characterized by his patriotic devotion to his homeland, the Kingdom of Arcanea. Throughout the 2 wars, his convictions stay steadfast and focused wholly on serving the best interests of Princess Naya and his country. Unlike his compatriot Astrum, however, Jeorge seems to be more sensible and realistic about it, since he wisely foresees Arcanea's demise when Hardin's reign turns oppressive. His desire to bring back the kingdom of old ultimately causes him to turn against his country and join Marth's campaign early on, whereas Astrum continues to blindly serve the corrupted Hardin for a while longer, mistakenly believing that he is doing it for Naya's sake. His unrivaled skill in archery commands great respect from others, and it is what initially draws Gordon to him in the first place. Gordon holds Jeorge in high esteem and attributes his personal improvements as an archer from being taught by the master sniper himself. Jeorge is an honorable and considerate man who only seems to follow the commands of people who he respects, though this creates some conflict with his men when he refuses to ally with himself with corrupted men. You know, like Lang or Hardin. Jeorge's thoughtfulness is shown as well when he makes a compromise with his men to ease their minds and to prevent his own actions from jeopardizing them. His chivalrous nature is supported by his ending, which states that after peace returns to the continent, he organizes the Arcanean Free Knights in the interest of protecting the people from outlaws. Well, from my understanding of Jeorge, and you are welcome to correct me here, because, again, have not played his game, I don't really think Embla fits thematically. I feel like he would lean more towards, well, the opposite, Asker. He seems to be extremely devoted and have this sense of purpose, the duty that he has, whereas Embla is more focusing on, like, the dark side of that, where it's like I mean, I guess everybody in war has cruel circumstances, so technically he fits, but like he's not being like tormented or like, you know, had a rough childhood, at least from what I ascertained. So yeah, I feel like Asker thematically would have been a better fit for him. Or even Nidavellir. Nidavellir and Asker both have similar themings, where with Asker though, it's a lot more grandiose, a lot more for the sake of my people, whereas Nidavellir tends to be for the sake of one or the sake of like my father, the specific thing. It's more narrowed down instead of the grander thing. And for Jeorge, it seems like he's very much the grander thing, so he should be an Asker instead of Embla. So I think I'm gonna give him a 2, maybe even a 3, because I mean he does have cruel circumstances because, you know, war and stuff going on with his country, but you know, not great enough for me to say that he fits very, very well. And now, my personal opinions. Before I get too far into them, I'm happy for all Jeorge fans that he has a Resplendent. I'm so happy for you. I advise you close your ears for the next like 30 seconds or so. I don't know. But, oh my gosh, why is he getting a Resplendent? Okay, his base art is fine. Like, I don't think it, like, his art now is such a big upgrade compared to his base art, you know? Like, it's okay, it's okay. But, like, I don't understand Intelligence System's way of picking Resplendents. Please let me know your theories down below, because I'm getting just flabbergasted with each pick. I do understand, like, they want to do the more popular characters and sometimes less popular characters, you know, the characters that really need attention. Olivia. But like, there are so many characters that have been begging for Resplendent stats, not even just art, the stats. Camilla? Hello? Your little baby Camilla that you love intelligence systems, you fed her, like, you gave us all of these alts of her, and we get Jeorge instead. And stepping aside my personal bias, Olivia, come on. Like, I understand you have a weird adversity to dancers. I understand that intelligence systems, but come on. Out of all of the dancers that exist in FEH right now, one of them deserves new art, and it's Olivia. I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. So I don't want to say Jeorge is not deserving of it, because honestly, everybody is deserving of Resplendent, but I wish his time came later, after some of the characters that kind of needed a little bit more. His art itself, like the Resplendent art, is fine. It's nothing like spectacular for me. I really do like his posing in his attack pose. It's very dynamic, but there's just a little problem with how the bow is. And I'm critiquing this from a place where I'm still learning about how to draw things in perspective, so I totally understand, but it doesn't look like the bow is at the same angle he is. So he's pointing outwards, right? Completely almost like facing the camera with his hand. The bow and the arrow are more facing towards the side instead of towards the camera. Again, that's a hard thing to do in perspectives. Just, it kind of bothers me now that I see it, and I needed to share that with you. His special art is fine. I do like the flames around the arrow. I think that's very cool. I don't like the green wispy wisps. I think it would have been a little more cool if they were like black, like smoke is coming out from the flame. I think that would have been really cool. But you know, flames is more akin to Moosebell, but here we are. Damage art is fine. Overall, like, it's just fine. It's nothing amazing. And like, if I were not like, if I actually followed the cyclical pattern of FEH Pass and like stopped my FEH Pass when I didn't care about Resplendent, you know, I would probably stop, because like FEH wasn't very interesting for me. I'm sorry, FEH fans. Jeorge isn't very interesting for me, so I'm just kind of in a very meh spot right now. I do hope that the next one is a bit better. Not just like in terms of characters who deserve it, but I feel like design-wise, the past couple of Resplendents have been kind of weak, in my opinion. I'm hoping that just means that they have a couple of strong ones coming up that you know, still needed to be finished up, and they have a couple of these weaker ones that are just sitting around and they're like, all right, we'll just pad the time. That's what I'm kind of hoping for, but I doubt it. I doubt it. But yeah, that's it for this Resplendent review. What do you guys think? What do you think of Jeorge? Oh wait, I totally forgot to put him on my tier list. Okay, first he gets like a 4 out of 10 for me. I'm not the biggest fan. And for my tier list, honestly, I think he's going in the same as base for me. Like, it is an improvement. I can say that, but like, it's not as much of an improvement as like that I would be satisfied with putting it in slightly better than base. So I think he's gonna sit right behind Noe. Right there. Right there. Now I can get into my outro spiel. Can you tell it's been a long month again, guys? I just want 1 month. I just want October to be peaceful. I can celebrate my birthday, and everything goes right that month. Please. Anyways, what do you think of Jeorge? Do you have a Jeorge build? I saw somebody in my Discord that was a Jeorge fan, and I am happy for you. But, you know. And if you missed my announcement at the beginning of the video, which would be weird, giveaway! Link to join is in the comment, the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. Keep fighting your battles, and I will see you next time. Toodaloo!